On D-Day, June 6, 1944, Allied forces launched a combined naval, air, and land assault on Nazi-occupied France. Codename Operation Overlord, the Allied landings on the Normandy beaches marked the start of a long and costly campaign to liberate Northwest Europe from German occupation. The 5 beaches of D-Day, codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. Utah Beach. The westernmost of the D-Day beaches, Utah was added to the invasion plans at the 11th hour so that the Allies would be within striking distance of the port city of Cherbourg. In the pre-dawn darkness of June 6, thousands of U.S. paratroopers dropped inland behind enemy lines. Weighed down by their heavy equipment, many drowned in the flooded marshlands at the rear of the beach, and others were shot out of the sky by enemy fire. One even hung from a church steeple for 2 hours before being captured. Those who landed, meanwhile, often found themselves outside of the designated drop zones. Forced to improvise, they nonetheless succeeded in seizing the 4 causeways that served as the beach's only exit points. Omaha Beach. Surrounded by steep cliffs and heavily defended, Omaha was the bloodiest of the D-Day beaches, with roughly 2,400 U.S. troops turning up dead, wounded, or missing. The troubles for the American troops began early on when Army intelligence underestimated the number of German soldiers in the area. To make matters worse, an aerial bombardment did little damage to the strongly fortified German positions. Gold Beach. Owing to the direction of the tides, British troops began storming Gold, the middle of the 5 D-Day beaches, nearly an hour after fighting got underway at Utah and Omaha. The Germans initially put up a robust resistance, but in sharp contrast to Omaha, an earlier bombardment had wiped out much of their defenses. British warships also proved quite effective. Juno Beach. At Juno, Allied landing craft once again struggled with rough seas, along with offshore shoals and enemy mines. Upon finally disembarking, Canadian soldiers were then cut down in droves by Germans, firing from seaside houses and bunkers. The first hour was particularly brutal, with the casualty rate approaching 50% for the leading assault teams. Sword Beach. Near midnight, British airborne troops, along with a battalion of Canadians, dropped behind enemy lines to secure the invasion's eastern flank, just as the Americans were doing near Utah. Within minutes, they had taken hold of Pegasus Bridge and nearby Horsa Bridge. Other airborne troops destroyed bridges over the river dives to prevent German reinforcements from arriving, and they also took out a key German artillery battery in a bloody firefight. The men who fought these bloody battles are a credit to their generation. The saying goes, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. I doubt that the majority of men in this generation would have the grit, determination, and mental fortitude to even attempt something like D-Day, although there are exceptions, and I personally know patriots and brothers would certainly step up to the plate, as it were. Overall, millennial men, as a whole, have gotten soft. The technical skills and staunch can-do attitudes that characterized the manly generations of our past have largely been snuffed out. Cast aside as society progressed and gender lines are becoming increasingly blurred, masculinity, to all intents and purposes, is being, ironically, beaten down.